Good morning, guys. So I wanted to make this video instead of going live because I thought it would be better if somebody wanted to go back and find it and be able to watch it later. So this is a very vulnerable post. I thought about this all last night and I wanted to share this with you guys because I know so many people are struggling with the same kind of things. I'm not an expert on everything, that's for sure. I've learned a lot over the last 2 years. Obviously, my history working in medicine and my education has definitely helped get me to where I'm at. But I didn't go to school for natural medicine. I went to school for medicine, which pushes Western medicine and big pharma. I just never believed in it. Some things, yes, but not obviously everything. Anyway, that's not what this is about. So, for years, I have struggled with anxiety, depression. I have PTSD. I'm very honest. I know a lot of people are embarrassed and they struggle to really talk about their mental health. That's one of the things I'm constantly trying to push, that it's okay to share how you're feeling and it's okay to have a vulnerable conversation or be vulnerable about your feelings, because if you don't talk about it, then nobody can help you. And a lot of times when you put it out there, it just makes you feel better. So I don't want anybody, men or women, to feel like they can't talk about their mental health. And I don't want anybody to feel alone or like they're suffering alone. Or the biggest thing, what I felt for years, was there was something wrong with me. I have seen, I don't even know how many therapists. I've been through hell and back in my life. I know I hear a lot of people say, oh my gosh, you're so lucky, you have this great life, blah, blah, blah. And I have to giggle. Sometimes it pisses me off, but I do giggle sometimes because unless you've known me for years, you have no idea what I've been through. I used to struggle really bad with anxiety to the point I wouldn't even want to be out in public. And I'm typically a social butterfly, but after my first divorce, my ex-husband was extremely abusive, mentally and physically, and it really put me down for a long time. So I had this awful fear of being in crowds of people, being around people, things like that. I overcame that fear by starting to do public talks on domestic violence, sexual violence, things like that, which really helped. However, I still struggled really bad with depression and anxiety. There were certain things that would trigger my PTSD. There are still things that trigger my PTSD. But I did realize that the best thing for me was to ask for help. It took a lot for me to ask for help, a lot. I've had some really, really good primary care doctors in the past, and they know that if I reach out for help, I need help. Because normally I'm like, I'm fine. So anyhow, once I started taking CBD, that significantly helped my anxiety. I was on a super high dose of Effexor, 300 milligrams of Effexor a day, which is like, you're not even supposed to prescribe that much. And that's what I was taking. And I was still struggling with anxiety and some of the triggers and depression and things like that. Once I started CBD, I weaned myself off of the Effexor. Horrible, but I weaned myself off of it. I don't want to get into like the science of all the stuff, that I didn't believe in and I do believe in, because it's neither here nor there right now. That's a topic for another day. So anyway, I started taking the CBD and my anxiety was pretty much gone, which was amazing because the anxiety controlled me. And then I started doing a lot of research and meditation and different spiritual and soul searching things to help my anxiety, not just the CBD. The CBD helped my anxiety, it helped balance the neurotransmitters, but I needed to, like I just said, the anxiety controlled me. I needed to learn how to control the anxiety instead of it controlling me. And that definitely helped me overcome my anxiety as well. After some time, I noticed the depression kind of creeping back up here and there. I started 2 summers ago taking MCT capsules. And that's pretty much what this video is about. But I started taking these MCT capsules and I started taking them for my belly and for weight loss. I have horrible gastroparesis, which is where your stomach basically, you eat and everything just sits there. It doesn't really digest and you get bloated and it's horrible and the pain sucks. And the MCT took care of the gastroparesis within days. It was a freaking miracle. So I took the MCT religiously for probably 6 months, every day like I was supposed to. Felt great. And then everybody's heard this story. I got in a car accident. My MCT always sits in my console here. Took the car to the car place. Forgot to take my MCT for a week because it was in my car. Couldn't figure out why I was feeling so off and weird. And Tammy actually said, have you been taking your MCT? No. Within a week of taking it again, I was back to normal. Fast forward a year, was doing great. Everything was fine. A few weeks ago, we sell MCT like water. We ran out. We were sold out in the store. I only had a couple left, so I was like rationing them because I didn't want to take from my customers. We got a shipment in, but we had orders for every single bottle of MCT that came in. So I was like, shit, I don't want, again, I can't take from my customers. So I'm like, I'll get the next batch that comes. And I thought I'll be fine for a few days, right? And then the next batch came in and I just totally forgot because we've been so freaking busy. And, for a few weeks there, I was running everything totally by myself. There was nobody else coming to the store. So I just, it slipped my mind and I forgot. And then I could feel that depression creeping back up and the PTSD. And the triggers. One of the biggest triggers for me is overstimulation. A lot of noise, a lot of talking, too many people talking at once. I know I have ADD. So like if I'm on the computer and I'm shipping and somebody comes up and talks to me, I'll literally like panic and like freak out. I can't, a lot of times, like you can ask my employees, they'll talk to me and I'm like, I'm not even listening to them because I can't. That is a trigger to me. I don't know why, but it's a trigger. So like I can only do one thing at a time. And one of the things that happen with that trigger is I get really, what's the word? Hostile is not the word, but really agitated, very agitated. And I noticed that the agitation level was skyrocketing. So like if I was working and somebody would say something to me, instead of me just being like, I would be like wanting to lose my mind where I would have to go outside because I had to get away from it. Or I would be working and an email would pop up and I literally felt like my head was going to pop off. And that's not healthy. I could feel my stomach burning, like an ulcer just eating at my stomach. And I would go home and I would tell Trevor, my stomach is on fire. And he's like, what is going on? What is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just the stress. It's getting to me. And then it dawned on me and I said to Trevor, I haven't taken MCT in like 2 weeks. And I was like, I said, MCT is for your belly. It helps your cognitive health. And I said, it's crazy that something so simple, it's a coconut oil from a palm tree, can help my irritability and my frustration and my mood so much. So got a bottle last week, been taking it. I actually started taking it twice a day just to kind of build it back up in my system. Within 4 or 5 days, I started feeling better again. I mean, yes, I still get agitated. I'm not going to lie. I do. You guys can tell in my posts. I am under a great deal of stress, but I'm not agitated to the point like I feel like I want to punch a wall like I was a couple weeks ago or even earlier last week. And so last night I was like, God, it's crazy how like that I feel better from a coconut oil. And I was like, this is my scientific research brain. I was like, why does this oil help so much? What is in this coconut oil that makes me feel so much better, that helps that irritability and that frustration and takes it down? And so I spent like hours last night researching MCT oil again, researching coconut oil. What is it doing in my brain? And unfortunately, because it's not an FDA approved supplement, there's not really any studies done on it. And there was not much I could find other than it's full of amino acids. It helps with synapses in the protein channel and all this other stuff. But I'm telling you what, despite there being any scientific backing or research on this, maybe one day I can do a research project, because I'm telling you what, you guys, 2 weeks ago, I was ready to snap. I was ready to say, fuck this. I'm turning the website off for a week. I can't handle this anymore. I was literally feeling like I was going to pull every hair in my head out. I was so irritable and snapping at my kids and snapping at Trevor and snapping at Aurora, and just felt like I was coming out of my skin. I know you guys that suffer from anxiety and depression and PTSD understand that feeling where you feel like you're just going to blow up. You're going to explode. Like everything is just like you can hear your kids tie their shoes and it irritates you. You can hear somebody chewing a mile away and you're like, ah! that's how I felt. I was so frustrated. And I love what I do. You guys know that. I love my business. I love what I've created. I love helping people. I love seeing all the testimonials because I'm the one who created that product. And it feels wonderful to help people without writing a prescription, without giving them something that's going to potentially cause a horrible side effect. So it's not that I don't love my job. I just was all out of sorts. And it is freaking bananas to think that something so simple like these freaking, it's MCT. It's a fatty acid, capric acid. That's it. It's coconut oil. And that is what makes me feel this much better. With my CBD, of course. And then I do religiously, I take these capsules. These are the green tea capsules. I take one of these every morning. Then I take my matcha ones at nighttime. But it's those MCT capsules that make the world of freaking difference in my mood, in my behavior, in my depression. So I wanted to share this with you guys, especially right now with what's going on, because I know how many people are truly struggling with everything going on. I tell everybody I feel like a rat in a cage. Even though, like right now I'm in the Starbucks parking lot where I always am every morning. I go from home, Starbucks, store, home. I don't really go anywhere else. Dollar Tree once in a while. But that is making everybody's anxiety worse, making our depression worse, the fear of the unknown. So I wanted to share this just in case somebody else is feeling like I was feeling, because you don't have to. There's things that can help. And I don't want anybody suffering that doesn't need to be suffering. So that's it. Have a great day, guys.